My inspiration for the collections is never really related to fashion. Netflix documentary section, some crazy weird shit on there, I love that. Have you seen that? The Donkey Kong documentary? King of Kong, genius. Listening to a lot of Fortet, Atoms for Peace, Wu-Tang, National.
They sang about Rag and Bone. I mean, give me a break. The hook line on one of their singles is "Cover Me in Rag and Bone." It's a good song. I play it all the time on repeat when I'm driving. I don't really.
My name is Marcus Wainwright. I am a clothing designer, I suppose, or generally a designer.
My name is David Neville, and Marcus and I are Rag and Bone. Rag and Bone has been a labour of love for over 10 years. Marcus and I have known each other an awful long time. We actually went to school together in England, so we've known each other probably about 22 years. It's longer than we've known our wives, for sure.
Originally, the idea was to make men's jeans, trying to figure out how to make a pair of men's jeans. And, that's all I wore, kind of still is, just jeans and a t-shirt. And that was at the end of 2001, and there was very little great denim out there at that point. It was all very washed and sandblasted and looked quite weird. And there was just a big opportunity there. I sat down and tried to figure out what do you make a pair of jeans from denim. So I need a pattern and I need some denim. So found a pattern maker in the garment district and gave her almost no information about what I wanted. And then I walked down, I remember going down to Broadway and Canal to some fabric shop and thinking that must be where people buy their fabric and look for denim there. And I think it just showed how naive I was at that point. And I remember being very disappointed that the first pair of jeans that we made from that very bad denim I bought on Broadway, I can't remember the name of the pattern maker, but I remember being very disappointed that they weren't perfect and they didn't fit. Everything about them was wrong. And so that was the very first thing that ever happened at Rag and Bone. Just a lot happened after that.
We were fund applicants in 2006. 2006 was really kind of a pivotal year for us. We up until that point, we had no office, we had no employees. We really did everything in the garment district and in a multi-line showroom in Soho. We didn't really know what the fund was or who the people involved were. But it opened our eyes to an awful lot of things, be it the editorial side of life, or the commerce with the retailers, and some of the relationships we got to make during that period of time have been really instrumental. And probably, most notably would be Andrew and Anna. I didn't realize that we were the only people that had been a finalist, a mentor, and a judge, which is quite an honor. Being a finalist was quite a long time ago, and we were terrified, and we already touched on that, and we learned an awful lot, and we're very grateful for the fund and what it did for us and for our brand.
I think we've got a lot to add, honestly, without that wishing to sound arrogant or anything. I think having been through the process of being in it, mentored someone, seen all the other Fashion Fund finalists, most of them succeed, and maybe understanding why some of them didn't. That's all very important. And I think, quite honestly, just the fact that we're a working brand in the market that they're kind of judging to some extent gives us a huge insight as to how it works with retailers and what it takes to be successful, the mistakes that you can make.
One of the things that's become obvious is that, since the financial crisis, and maybe it was going to happen anyway, that, people I think are less ostentatious. I think that the idea of what is aspirational is maybe always changing. And I think that, our Rag and Bone world is one where we want to, highlight people for being themselves and not for trying to be something that they're not.
Oh, you know, our brand is about reality. It's about authenticity and real life, and there's a lot of beauty in that, and there's a lot of aspiration in that as well. You know, one day I looked in the mirror and I did say, you know, these trousers, which I thought were quite slim, actually look a little too baggy. They look a little flared. Like I feel like I'm wearing a boot-cut jeans. So I came into the office and made like a peg leg pant for myself, and that often starts with that. For women's, it's sort of the same thing, and I think maybe there's an indirect relationship with the girls in the office and the girls in the streets, our wives. Just looking at them and trying to figure out how to perfect the look. You know, and the rag and bone look, I think, is quite a New York look. Our clothes and our collections are all based around dressing that girl and also pushing forward what that girl could be. And I think the way to do that is to look at what girls are wearing and figure out what's interesting about it and what could be more interesting about it, what could be more inspiring, what could be sexier, what could be cooler, what could be, you know, could there be a better leather jacket? I don't really know. It's just, we're trying to make cool shit.